Okay, let's begin. You all can hear me.
Mataji, if you're speaking, we are not able to hear you, Mataji.
Okay, let's begin. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashlakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanasahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Takta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanasute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namini नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Let's begin with the kirtan. It's a beautiful kirtan. It's about how even plants and trees and animals also sing Harinam when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sings Harinam. It's so beautiful. डुले डुले गौरा चांद हरि गुण गाए डुले डुले गौरा चांद हरि गुण गाए आशिया वृंदावनी आशिया वृंदावनी नच गौर डुले डुले गौरा हरि गुण गाय वृंदावने चारुलता प्रेम कोई हरि खाता वृंदावने चारुलता प्रेम कोई हरि खाता एक से काकी घोली हरि नाम सुनाए डुले डुले गौरा हरि गुण गाय गौरा बोले हरि हरि साई बोले हरि हरि गौरा बोले हरि हरि साई बोले हरि हरि मुखे मुखे शोका सारी हरि नाम गाय डुले डुले गौरा हरि गुण गाय हरि नामे माता हरि नाशी दे हरि नाम माता हरि नाशी दे मयूर मयूरी प्रेम रखिया खिला डुले डुले गौरा हरि गुण गाय प्राणा आसे काले जाए डुले डुले गौरा चांद हरि गुण गाए आसिया जमुना खुले नाचे हरि हरि बोले आसिया जमुना खुले नाचे हरि हरि बोले जमुना उठोले से जमुना उठोले से चरण दोराए डुले डुले गौरा चांद हरि गुण गाए हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Okay, anybody wants to read the translation? You can unmute and read. Who wants to read? Unmute and read the translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji, the moon-like Lord Gaurachanda arrives in Vrindavana while dancing, swaying to and fro, and singing the glories of Lord Hari. The creepers adorning the trees of Vrindavana are overwhelmed with ecstatic love, and they are speaking about the glories of Lord Hari. Flocks of birds who live in the groves are singing the name of Lord Hari. Lord Gaura says, Hari Hari. A female parrot responds, Hari Hari. And then all male and female parrots start singing a loud chorus of the name of Hari. Becoming intoxicated by the holy name, the deer come forward from out of the forest. The peacocks and pigeons, pigeons are dancing and frolicking in ecstatic love. Lord Hari is in his heart. Lord Hari is in his meditation, and he always chants the name of Hari with his voice. Gaurachanda is intoxicated by ecstatic mellows and rolls around on the ground while singing Harinam. Arriving on the bank of the Yamuna river, he dances wildly while chanting Hari Hari. Mother Yamuna becomes in ecstatic that she arises and comes forward to wash Lord Gauranga's feet. Hare Krishna, Mother.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. One moment, just give me a second. Okay, so let's begin with today's class. So that was so beautiful, right? So it's all about how even peacocks start singing Hare Krishna, Harinam along with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How even the trees welcome Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by singing Harinam, right? So it's in purity of heart, you know. When animals also can sing Harinam just by looking at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. see, how Vaishnava has to be, right? That's how a Vaishnava has to be. Vaishnava is supposed to be so pure in heart that just by looking at that Vaishnava, others also should transform themselves into Vaishnava. That's how a Vaishnava is. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu defines a Vaishnava that way. Just by looking at that Vaishnava, others also will become Vaishnavas. Uttama Adhikari, he is the highest form of Vaishnava. Okay, so on that note, we are also learning about such a Vaishnava. Just by looking at him, all the hippies also turned into Vaishnava, right? Srila Prabhupada. So we are so fortunate to learn about him, a song or a poem composed by him today. It's just a continuation, right? So let's continue. Mm, yeah. So we stopped at fifth paragraph in the last class. We will continue tomorrow further. So, at this I heard from one of the senior Vaishnavas. Okay, so there was a person. Okay, he left his body, he quit his body, and he went to Vaikunta. So he was standing outside Vaikunta. Okay, he was standing outside Vaikunta, and he wanted to enter Vaikunta because he's a devotee, right? He's done all the devotion service as prescribed. So he wanted to enter Vaikunta, but there the doorkeepers of Vaikunta stopped him. Okay, they said, "How can you enter? No, what have you done? How this is only for devotees. You cannot enter. You need to perform austerities and lot of other things if you want to enter Vaikunta." Okay, so he started screaming. You know whose name he was screaming? He started screaming Prabhupada's name. He shouted, "Prabhupada!" He shouted. Okay, so that time he shouted so loudly, Prabhupada, that the doorkeepers were asking, "No, what is your qualification?" So the moment he shouted Prabhupada, the doorkeepers were like, "You can enter, go in." And they let him in. They let that devotee into the Vaikuntha. So this means what? What I understood or what that senior devotee was trying to explain by this is Prabhupada, truth, no, the truthful. He is always true to his words. Prabhupada has promised us, you chant 16 rounds, follow the four regulative principles, and hold on to my dhoti tightly. Cling on to my dhoti tightly. I have the back door, key to the back door of Golok Vrindavan. I will take you. That's what Prabhupada says, right? I will take you to Goloka. Through front door, we cannot enter. We are not qualified. Okay. So Prabhupada says, I can take you through the back door, but cling on to me. Follow my instructions, right? So just by following what Prabhupada says, and it's very easy. It's all doable, right? You just have to chant 16 rounds and follow the four regulative principles. And you are there in Golok Vrindavan. Can you imagine? You can get delivered right in this life. You don't have to even wait for more janmas, right? So he's given us the shortcut. We need to sincerely follow his instructions. That's on us, right? He's done his part. Now it's our part. And then we can go back to Krishna, right? So on that note, let's continue. तुम्हारा इच्छया सबा होया माया भाषा तुम्हारा इच्छया नाशा माया parasha. So what does this mean? It means all the living entities have become under the control of illusory energy by your will, and therefore if you like, by your will they will also be released from the clutches of illusion. So Prabhupada is praying very humbly to Krishna. He's falling to Krishna's feet and praying so that he gets all the energy needed to go and become successful in his endeavor, right? His endeavor was to go and preach to the Western countries, right? So what is he saying? It's only by your will can people under the illusory energy come out of the illusion. See, the Prabhupada also explains in one of the purports, he says, he gives an analogy, okay, in Bhagavad Gita. Only a liberated person can liberate another person. right? If say you're tied up, your hands and legs are fully tied with a rope. Okay. How can you free your friend who is also tied up completely? Hands and legs are tied up, right? If you get free from that knots, then you can go and help that person also become free, right? If you are tied up yourself, how will you go and liberate that person? Right? So here in the material world, all of us are tied up. We don't know. We are all under the clutches of Maya. Okay, Maya Shakti is very strong. But that is the reason Acharyas come directly from the spiritual world, because they are not tied up. They are liberated. Example, Srila Prabhupada, he is a liberated soul who is come so that because he is liberated, he can liberate us. Right? So, he is first of all liberated. But look at his humility. He is liberated and he is still asking Krishna, give me energy or give them some mercy so that they can all come out of illusion. Only you can do that. Right? So that is how we are supposed to be. We are always supposed to be meek and humble in front of the Lord. That's one of the six symptoms of surrendering. Right? Six symptoms. We need to be meek and humble in front of the Lord. Yeah, Karpanya, right? Atmanikshepa Karpanya. Karpanya is to be meek and humble in front of the Lord. We might be anything, we might have any position. We might be a demigod, okay? As great as Indra or Chandra or whoever. But in front of the Lord, we got to be meek and humble. And that is what Prabhupada is showing us, right? And then he also says, next para, तबा इच्छा होए झड़ी तादेरा उद्धार बुझिबे निश्चय तबे कथा से तुम्हार. So I wish that you may deliver them. Therefore, if you so desire their deliverance, then only will they be able to understand your message. So Prabhupada is saying, please deliver the people in the West. So he already has the key, right, to Goloka. He already has the key, and he need not have to worry, right? I'm struggle, right? He can go back to Krishna, no? Why is he not going back? Because he says, I don't want to go alone. I know the formula to go back to Godhead, but I don't want to go alone. I want to take everybody along with me. Right? I want to take everybody along with me. So, this is how acharyas are. This is how acharyas are, because they are paradukha dukhi. When they see others' sadness, others' miseries, they feel sad for it. They also start suffering. They also start crying, looking at others who are in miseries. Okay, but we materialistic people are not like that. We get happiness when we look at others suffering. We'll be like, oh, I am at least in a better position. I'm so happy, right? We don't feel sad or bad for them. We don't try to uplift them, right? We feel happy. Oh, if that person is your competitor, you'll be more happy, right? Oh, my path is clear now. Right? So that is how we are. Materialistic people are paradukka sukhi. We take happiness out of others' sufferings. But spiritually enlightened people are paradukha dukhi. That's why they are in that position. Okay. And the very close to Krishna, right? We already discussed in the last class. They are human incarnations of the lotus feet of the Lord. That's why they are called Prabhupada. Right? Bhakti Siddhanta Swami Prabhupada we say, Rupa Goswami Prabhupada we say. Right? Prabhupada is not just a title, not just a title. It indicates that they are incarnations of the lotus feet of the Lord. Serving such exalted devotees is same as serving the lotus feet of the Lord in person, like directly. Can you imagine? They are all representing the lotus feet of the Lord. Correct? So that's why they are paradukka dukhi. Prabhupada is seeing people suffering there in the Western countries. They don't know what is right, what is wrong. They absolutely don't know, right? And what kind of life are they living? Animalistic lives, right? And so Prabhupada says, please deliver them. He's saying, if you desire Krishna, if you desire, then they will definitely understand the message of Bhagavad Gita and get delivered. It's all in your hands. You show mercy upon them, right? We saw in the orientation class, right? Prayers orientation. We saw, why should we pray? You might be doing all your duty sadhana properly, but if you're not getting the results, it's because Krishna is not showering his mercy upon us. So we need to pray, asking for his mercy, begging for his mercy. His mercy is the game changer. Nothing else. We cannot do anything by ourselves. He needs to bless us, right? That's why Prabhupada is praying to Krishna sincerely. भागवतेर कथा से तबा अवतार धीरे हया सुने जड़ी कने बार बार. So these words of Srimad Bhagavatam are your incarnation. So the following shlokas that we will be learning, he talks about all Bhagavatam Canto 1 shlokas. Okay, so we will be learning about each of the shlokas. And Prabhupada is saying these shlokas are your own incarnation. No, Srimad Bhagavatam in itself is Krishna's incarnation. It's literary incarnation of Krishna, right? And if a sober person repeatedly receives it with submissive oral reception, then he will be able to understand your message. It is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so one by one we will be learning the shloka. So what does he say? Shrinvatam Sakata Krishna Punya Shramana Kirtanam Hridyantasto hi Badrani Vidunoti Srhutsatam. So what does this mean? It means Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of a devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Can you imagine? Krishna, you just have to make up your mind. That's what this shloka says, right? The moment you make up your mind, the moment you decide to hear the message of Krishna, okay? The urge, once you have developed the urge to hear his messages, what does Krishna do? He comes and cleanses your heart. Cheto Darpana Marjanam, right? He cleanses your heart and you will be free from the material desires. But that decision has to be strong. Okay, you have to strongly decide that that urge has to be there. See the word used here is urge, right? It's not just about choosing to hear Krishna or his messages. It's about having that urge to hear Krishna's messages, right? If that happens, if your intention or your desire is strong, intense, right? Tatra laulyam api maulyam ekala. So if your intention or desire is strong, so strong, then Krishna will come and cleanse your heart himself. You don't even have to do anything. That's why I told you sadhana is there. That is one side. Okay, but praying to Krishna for his mercy is on the other side. That is very important. Okay, you need to tell Krishna, prove to him that you are genuinely, asking for his mercy, blessings, so that you want to advance. You need to tell him how much you want to advance, right? How badly you want to advance. So that's why the word urge is used over here. And then Krishna will cleanse you of all your material desires. And what will happen? You will go back to Krishna effortlessly, right? So that's how you see Krishna's mercy. Without mercy, nothing is possible. तदा रजस्तमो भावा लोभायश्च ये चेतयेतैरनाविद्धं स्थितं सत्त्वे प्रसीदति. Right, so as soon as irrevocable loving service is established, that is when Krishna Prem, okay, gets manifested in your heart, what happens? The effects of nature's modes of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from heart. Like we already saw, that if you have that genuine intention to please the Lord, no, you develop Krishna Prem. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Radharani will recommend you to Krishna, and you get Krishna Prem, the highest level of devotional service, the 9th stage. 9 stages are there, no, in devotional devotional service. There are 9 stages. Okay, and it starts with faith and ends with Krishna Prem, and you're getting Krishna Prem. Once you get Krishna Prem, there's no fall down. There's no coming back to this world. You just keep going and going and making Krishna more and more happy, right? And when you get Krishna Prem, Krishna, we saw in the previous shloka, he cleanses of our material desires, right? So mode of passion, ignorance, like lust, desire, hankering for material gains will disappear from our heart immediately. This way, we can go to Shuddha Sattva Guna, Vasudeva state we reach, right? Sattvam Vishuddham, Vasudeva Shabditam, right? So we reach Vasudeva stage where, what is Vasudeva stage? Krishna appeared as the son of Vasudeva, right? That means Vasudeva stage is a stage of pure goodness, Shuddha Sattva Guna. Okay, we need to attain, that is a Vaishnava Guna, a Vaishnava stage actually. Okay, and then you become, you attain you've made your life successful, so you become happy, right? You get that real happiness, not temporary happiness or chapalasaka, flickering happiness. It's not flickering happiness anymore, right? Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogatah bhagavat tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. So thus established in the mode of unalloyed goodness, The man whose mind has been enlivened by contact with devotional service to the Lord gains positive scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association. So that is the stage you get at unalloyed, that is the unalloyed goodness, right? Shuddha Sattva Guna. You reach the Vasudeva stage, and in that stage, what happens? You're always in contact with the Lord. You're always offering Kirtaniya Sadahari, right? If you're free from pride and every other bad quality, what happens? Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. In that attitude, in that mentality or mindset of yours, you can keep on chanting the holy name of the Lord. You can always, Sada, Kirtaniya Sadahari, right? Always you will chant the holy name of the Lord. It is not possible otherwise. If we have even a small trace of one bad quality, it's not possible. Okay, so attaining that stage is not easy. You need to pray for that, right? And that shows your intention. We pray for everything else, right? And why? Because that is a priority in our life. You might pray, okay, my son exam is there, let him pass and let him get good marks. Why are you praying for that? Because that is bothering you so much, right? You're not praying for there are a lot of other difficulties also in your life, but you're praying only for certain difficulties because they are top of the list, right? If that is top of the list, why not bhakti? Bhakti will help you come out of all the difficulties that you have, not just one or two, right? All the difficulties that you have. If you pray for Krishna Bhakti or Krishna Prem, then you don't have to pray for anything else. There's nothing left for you to pray for, right? So you gains positive scientific knowledge. So this way you get the jnana, the right jnana of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from the material association. Vidyata hridaya grantis chindyate sarva samshayah kshiyanti chasya karmani mai drishti kilatmani. So the knot in the heart is pierced. So hridaya granthi, right? The knot, even Krishna says in 15th chapter Bhagavad Gita, right? He says you need to cut the strong knot of attachment with a weapon called detachment, right? The so much attached we are to the material world, right? To the relationships that we have, to the possessions that we have, the position that we have, the position, you might be a lawyer, you might be a writer, whatever position you're in, right? The possessions, the wealth, assets that you have, the relationships, everything. We are so attached, so attached, right? How do you cut all that? You need to cut that. Hridaya Granthi Bedakam. So that, how do you cut it? Through the knot, through the weapon called strong detachment. Detachment. So detachment from material world means attachment to Krishna. Right? Detachment from material world means attachment to Krishna. So you cannot get detached to something and hang in a position. You have to go and attach. That is our nature. Normal soul's nature is to get attached to something. Why not attach to Krishna? Why do you want to attach to the material world? Okay, if you are so the knot in the heart is pierced, all misgivings are cut into pieces, and the chain of fruitive actions is terminated. Our karma gets abolished. It just stops there, right? Karmic reactions, well, you don't have to face them anymore, right? You don't have to face any of your karma reactions because you're not doing any karma. You start doing akarma, right? Even if you stay with your family, say you're taking care of your family, you're taking care of your family in Krishna consciousness. You're not taking care of your family anymore from a material perspective, right? Krishna has given me the soul as my wife. Krishna has given me the soul as my child. Krishna has given me the soul as my father. That's why I'm taking care. I'm taking care because Krishna has given me this duty to do it. So I'm doing it out of duty, right? So you're doing it out of love for Krishna. You're doing it out of duty. You're not doing it out of love for your wife or for your child or for your mother or your father, right? The moment that love for your family turns into love for Krishna, that time you take care of your family. You don't change anything. You just do the same duty that you're doing. But the consciousness will change. You're doing it for Krishna, not for your wife, not for your mother, not for your father, right? So this way, what you do, whatever you do becomes akarma. Akarma means devotional service. There is no reaction to that particular karma. And Krishna, and what does it say? Chain of fruitive actions is terminated. The previous karma reactions are also terminated, right? And then what is the reason for you to take next janma? There is no next janma. You go back to Krishna, right? So this is what we need to understand. It's very simple. Consciousness matters. Consciously, you need to bring Krishna into your consciousness. That's what I would say. Okay. And so he talks about, Prabhupada writes about, recalls all these shlokas. and to fill himself with confidence, right? To fill himself with confidence, because it's such a great mission, right? He's going forward into the West all alone, that too at such an old age, with all the he doesn't even know where to go, how to proceed. No plan. He did not make any plan. He did not have funds, nothing, right? He went there and started working like from scratch. He had to build everything from the ground up, right? One man army it was, single man. Nobody helped him either, right? रजस्तमो हते तबे पाइबे निष्ठार हृदयेरा भद्रा सते गुजी पेताहार. So he will become liberated from the influence of the modes of ignorance and passion, and thus all inauspicious things accumulated in the core of the heart will disappear. We just learned this in Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So that's why reading Srimad Bhagavatam is very important. Nashtaprayashu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Right? So we need to read Srimad Bhagavatam every single day. Then it's like a charge. You get recharged. Otherwise, again we get entangled in the material world. We forget Krishna. Right? In some or the other way, we will forget Krishna. So this is like boost, energy boost every day. It's like fuel for your scooter. If you don't fill fuel, will it go forward? No, right? You need to fill fuel. Same thing with us. Bhagavatam is that food, right? Every day we need to listen to Bhagavatam at least for 30 minutes, or read Bhagavatam at least for 30 minutes, okay, or 15 minutes, how much ever time you have. And entire day you can recall what you read and what you heard, right? That way you can stay in Krishna consciousness all the time. So it's very, very important. Okay, so Krishna also says it's not difficult, what does Krishna say? Daivi hi aisha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya, right? Mam eva hi upadyante mayam etam tarantite, right? So if you it is very difficult to overcome Maya. Maya is my own energy. It's very difficult to overcome, but what does he say? It's very easy for my devotees. If you surrender to me, mam eva hi upadyate mayam etam tarantite, you can cross Maya very, very easily, right? That's what he says. So ki kore bujabo katha barose chahi shudra ami dinahi na kono shakti nahi. How will I make them understand this message of Krishna consciousness? I am very unfortunate, unqualified, and the most fallen. Therefore, I am seeking your benediction so that I can convince them, for I am powerless to do so on my own. What can we say? Can you imagine? Who is saying I'm fallen? Srila Prabhupada is saying I'm most fallen. Who is saying? Srila Prabhupada. He is saying I'm most unfortunate. He is saying I'm unqualified. I mean, if he is saying that, what are we proud of? Why are we jumping, saying I know that, I know this, I can do that, it's very easy. No, we can't do anything. Karna, what happened to Karna? Right? He forgot his vidya. I mean, the signs of bow and arrow, he forgot at the time of war, right? Right time, the time the much needed skill he forgot. Krishna made him forget, right? So do not be proud of anything. You never know what will happen, right? What if that happens to us? Sometimes we've experienced all this, right? We feel overconfident. We might be prepared. It could be seminar in office. It could be some exam in school. We might be prepared, right? We go there and we forget everything. We will not be able to say. We will not be able to speak, right? So all the while our skill, which was supporting us, suddenly at the right time, the much needed skill we will forget, right? So do not be proud. Right? We are always powerless. We are puppets in the hands of Maya. Right? We are puppets. Right? So Krishna has to take charge. We need to let him take charge. It's according to our desire, right? If Krishna wants, if you want Krishna to take charge, Krishna will come and take charge. No, you don't want Krishna to take charge, then Maya will take charge. You either serve Krishna or you serve Maya. You decide whom you want to serve. If you serve Krishna, we just saw the benefits. If you serve Maya, you will suffer. You will rot in the material world. That's what Shastras say, right? So next one. Atache ene cho prabhu kata boli bhare je tomar ichha prabhu koro ei bare. So how will I somehow or the other, O Lord, you have brought me to speak about you. Now, O my Lord, it is up to you to make me a success or a failure as you like. So same verse. So Prabhupada is saying, you have brought me here. Prabhupada says, once somebody asks, why did you come to Western countries all alone like this? Right? So Prabhupada says, I have not come by myself. Bhagavatam wanted to come. So he had brought a suitcase full of, Srimad Bhagavatam copies. Okay. First canto copies. So he said, I did not want to come. Bhagavatam wanted to come. Somebody has to bring it. No, so I just accompanied Srimad Bhagavatam. Can you imagine his humility? Right? Can you imagine? So that's what he says. I did not want to come. I just accompanied Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam wanted to come here. Srimad Bhagavatam wants everybody to, glorify Srimad Bhagavatam in the Western countries. So I just came with him, came with the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam is just an incarnation of the Lord, right? So a similar shloka is there, no, in Shikshashtakam. Ashlishya va padaratam pinashtu mam darshanam marmahatam va karotu va यथा ततो विदधातु लम्पतो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु एव नापरः. Right? So you do as you like. You either आश्लिष्य वा पादरथं पिनष्टु माम् अदर्शनं मर्महतं करोतु वा. You give me your darshan or you push me away. You hug me or you kill me. Right? You accept me or you reject me. Do whatever you want, Lord. I'm ready to take it because I love you. Right? That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. I don't have anything else. Matprananathasthu eva naparaha. I don't have anybody else to worship. You're my supreme worshipable Lord. You're my supreme love, object of love in all the three worlds put together. I have nobody else to go to. I just have you. Whether you reject me, whether you accept me, I'm going to stay here only at your lotus feet as your devotee. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, right? That is the devotee of an attitude of a devotee. That's exactly how how we all got to prepare. Behave. Right? So same thing Prabhupada is saying, right? So you have brought me here. Now you need to guide me. Whether you make me successful or a failure, it's up to you. Prahalad Maharaj, for example, his father attempted to kill him, right? In so many ways. So he never, every time something like that would happen, he never prayed to Krishna to save him. He never said, oh God, please save me. I'm in danger. He just glorified the Lord. He was just glorifying the Lord with the songs and everything else. He was just remembering the Lord. He never said, please save me, I'm in danger. Why? Because he says in Srimad Bhagavatam, he says, protecting me is my Lord's dharma. Will he not do it? He's the maintainer. He's Janardana, right? He's Janardana. His job is to protect us. Should you go and tell Krishna to protect us? Should you remind him of his duties? Why should I ask him to protect me? He will protect anyway. My job is to make him happy. How do you make him happy? Glorifying him, remembering him. Right? That is how, what to say. I don't have any words. Right? So that is the attitude we got to develop. And this comes over time with practice, conscious practice. Otherwise, it's impossible. Akhila jagat guru bachana sa amar alankrita koribar kshamata tomar. Oh, spiritual master of all. So Krishna is called Jagat Guru, right? So he's the spiritual master of all the worlds. I can simply repeat your message. So if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. So Prabhupada, see, that is how we need to pray, right? Do not go and tell, you need to do it, Krishna, please do it. No, please, 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 no. That's not the way we pray. Give him the choice. If you want, you do this. Otherwise, whatever you do, whatever he gives is Krishna Prasadam, right? For us. So constantly we are learning this from Prabhupada. He keeps giving Krishna choices. If you want, you make this happen. No, otherwise, no, it's okay. Whatever you do, because what are we doing? We are living for Krishna, right? We are living by the orders of Krishna. Whatever he says, we are doing in our life, right? If you read the scriptures, ultimately we will transform into or attain a stage where we live only to follow the Krishna's orders or according to the, Acharya's orders or scriptural rules and regulations. So in that case, what we are doing is a service to Krishna, right? So he will decide how he wants that service to happen, right? We don't have to tell him, make it this way, make it that way. No, right? One more point to note here is, he says, I'm simply here to repeat your message. So if you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. So what does this mean? How can preaching become effective? Preaching becomes effective when you are when your lifestyle is pure, when you are following the rules and regulations yourself, right? When you are following the rules and regulations yourself, before telling others, you need to be doing it, right? That's when preaching becomes effective. You can say, you can lie to your acharyas. You can say, no, I'm doing all the rules. I'm doing everything. All my sadhana every day I'm doing, right? So it is shown in practical applications. How many people are listening to you? How many people are you able to, bring towards Krishna consciousness or push forward, right? Because the quality of your service depends on quality of your lifestyle. Okay, so Prabhupada is all the way, anyway he's pure, right? His sadhana he's doing, although he's a liberated soul, although he's a Krishna premi, he's at the prema stage. What is he doing? He's still doing the sadhana, right? He's still waking up in the morning, he's still doing the mangalarati and chanting, and just like you and me, just like a neophyte devotee, he is also following the rules and regulations. He's not supposed, he need not follow, he's already translated that sadhana stage, and he's gone to prema stage already. He need not do it, but he's still doing it, right? Yadyad achariti shreshta tattad evataro janaha, because everybody will follow you. If you're not doing it, why will your disciples follow? Why will your devotees follow, right? They will not follow. So that's why preaching becomes effective only when Paramatma is there, no, sitting in our heart. He is judging, he is witnessing. Is this person's sadhana, done properly? Then he will show you the mercy. He'll shower mercy so that you can help so many other devotees to progress. Otherwise, your preaching will not be effective. Okay, it's as simple as that. Applies to everybody, to me as well. So next, Taba kripa haila mor katha shuddha habe shuniya sabhara shoka dukha se je gujibe. So only by your causeless mercy will my words become pure. See, this is what I was saying. We can preach, but Krishna has to shower his mercy upon us. I am sure that when this transcendental message penetrates their hearts, they will certainly feel engladdened and thus become liberated from all unhappy conditions of life. So beautiful, right? Krishna says, no, you listen to Bhagavad Gita, I will come and dispel the darkness. Jnana Deepena Bhashvata, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? I will come and dispel the darkness of ajnana, of ignorance that you have, and I will fill it up with the light of knowledge, right? So Krishna does. He also says, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam ena mam upayantite, right? Dadami buddhi yogam tam, I will give you the intelligence. Do not worry about it. Do your part and let me do my part. That's what Krishna says, right? আনিয়াছো ঝড়ি প্রভু আমার নিচাতে নাচো নাচো প্রভু নাচো সে মাতে কাস্তেরা পুটালি jata nacho se mate. So what does this mean? This is a very beautiful line. It's very famous, very, very famous. I'm just like a puppet in your hands. So if you have brought me to dance here, then make me dance. Oh Lord, make me dance as you like. It's so famous. This line is very famous. Everybody uses this when they preach, all the senior Vaishnavas. I'm just like a puppet in your hands. So if you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance. Make me dance, oh Lord, make me dance as you like. So we need to surrender ourselves, give ourselves completely to the control of Lord. Okay. Surrendering to the Lord doesn't mean chanting, doing your sadhana properly, following the regulative principles. No. You know what does surrendering actually mean? Surrendering means accepting the will of the Lord. Okay? Serving the will of the Lord. Can you imagine? Serving the will of the Lord. It could be anything. Say you have exam. Okay? But according to your karma, you need to fail in your exam. Okay? Accepting that failure as will of the Lord and saying, it's okay, Krishna wants me to fail, I will fail, I have no problem. I am after all here to serve him. If that makes him happy, let him make me fail. If you have that attitude, you've actually surrendered to the Lord. Otherwise, it's not called surrendering. Okay? It's not called surrendering. Draupadi, she was a devotee, right? She was a devotee. But why did Krishna not help her until the last minute? The moment Draupadi was called, that time only Krishna could have helped her, right? No, Why? Because Draupadi was still not surrendered to Krishna completely. She was still depending on Bhishma Dev. She thought, okay, Bhishma will, stop the insults that will happen now. Okay, fine. He did not. Maybe Dronacharya will stop. He did not. Then she depended on all the five husbands that she had, right? None of them helped. That's when. And then she started depending on her own self. She was clinging on to her sari tightly. She was holding her sari tightly, right? That also did not help because Dushasana was very strong, right? And that time what happened? She left the sari. She lifted her hands high up and she joined her hands and she was like, Govinda. She screamed, Govinda, 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 right? And then Krishna helped. That means you need to serve the will of the Lord, right? Whatever Krishna's will is, let that happen. I will accept it. I will accept it as Krishna Prasadam, right? That is called really surrendering to the Lord. And this is exactly what Prabhupada is saying now, right? I'm a puppet in your hands. I'm a puppet. You do whatever you want. Make me dance, make me sit, make me walk. You do whatever you want. I will accept it, right? If you brought me here to dance, make me dance as you like, right? Mm, and the next one, last one, Bhakti nai Vedanai name kub dharo, Bhakti Vedanta name be sarthak karo. So I have no devotion, nor do I have any knowledge, but I have strong faith in the holy name of the Lord. Right? I see Prabhupada is saying, I have no devotion, I have no knowledge, but all I have is strong faith. Right? I have been designated as Bhakti Vedanta, and now, if you like, you can fulfill the real purport of Bhakti Vedanta. Again and again, you can see this word, if you like, if you want. So do not, go and give a command to Krishna. Please do it, Krishna, please. No. If you want, do it. If you like, do it. All I can do is request. Sanctioning is up to you. That is how our attitude has to be. Okay, when we pray to the Lord. Right? And Prabhupada is saying, I have no devotion. Prabhupada is saying he has no devotion. Then how can we say we have devotion? Right? Prabhupada, who is called Bhakti Vedanta, is saying, I have no knowledge. Then how can we have knowledge? Right? So we need to learn from these Acharya about the attitude, how the right attitude to behave in front of the Lord when we pray. Right? So all I have is strong faith. That is the only thing important. Right? We have three categories of devotees, right? Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, Uttamadhikari. All the divisions are based on merely faith, levels of faith that you have. You have weak faith, which can be distorted easily. Then you are Kanishtadhikari. Okay, fine. You have to a certain extent you have proper faith in the Lord. You are Madhyamadhikari. If your faith is very strong, such that you can convert everybody else into devotees, then you are Uttamadhikari. It's all in the faith, right? You need to have faith in the holy name of the Lord. You need to have faith in the Lord, right? And then Krishna will automatically help. So strong desire and faith. These two are very, very important for us to progress in our spiritual life. Without that, it's very, very difficult. It's not difficult. It's impossible. It's really impossible. Okay, we need to pray to the Lord, and we need to ask Him, for His blessings. Hare Krishna. I'm so sorry I got disconnected. Yeah. Any questions you all have or any doubts? Any doubts? Any questions? Was it fast? I have another class today after this, so I was. Surrendering. Explain surrendering. How to overcome Maya. Yeah, how to overcome Maya. See, how to overcome Maya. So what does Krishna say? Daivi hi esha gunamayi mama Maya duratya. Mam eva hi upadyate mayam etam tarantite, right? So Krishna says, if you offer devotional service unto me, you can easily overcome Maya. So, mm, very challenging. Even I don't know how to overcome Maya, because Maya is not strong. It's just that our Krishna consciousness is weak. Our consciousness level is weak. So, like I said, consciously, if you monitor your actions, is there Krishna involved in it? Will this make Krishna happy? Right? If you consciously monitor when you do something, then you are away from Maya. It's like you either serve Krishna or you serve Maya, right? If you're not consciously serving Krishna, that means you are subconsciously serving Maya. This way you can overcome Maya. So, say, for example, just a very small example, okay? You need to chant and you have a rule saying no onion garlic food. Okay, say you're following this rule, okay, for example, and say there is your close relative's wedding, okay, you have to go to the wedding, so you will go. Okay, you will go to wedding, and then there definitely, if you go to the wedding, you'll have to eat and all that, right? So now say you say no, I cannot eat food without onion garlic. If you're strong enough, rigid enough to say no, I cannot eat food without onion garlic, it's a vow that I've taken. Okay, if you're strong enough to take, that means you're overcoming Maya. No, if you're falling for their emotions and sentiments and saying, oh no, my relative, no, my brother, my sister, how can I hurt them? I will eat one day, no problem. So if you fall for their sentiments, those sentiments are Maya. Okay, if you're falling for that sentiments and forgetting the vow that you've taken and doing what they want you to do, it could be for one meal also, but you're still breaking the rule, right? That is Maya. You're getting carried away by Maya. Rather, if you say, Krishna, please help me overcome this situation, Krishna will make way. Okay, so you need to be strong enough to say no where you have to say no. That way you can overcome Maya. Did that answer? Kodandaram Prabhuji. Okay, and explain surrendering. Surrendering, see, there are 6 symptoms of surrendering, right? Anukul, Anukulan, what is that? Yeah, you accept whatever is favorable for the service of Krishna. Pratikulasya varjitam. Yeah, so you reject whatever is unfavorable for the service of Krishna. Whatever is favorable, you will accept. Okay, that is the first symptom. Okay, you need to get up early in the morning. That is favorable for Krishna consciousness. Even if it is cold, right? Even if you've not had enough sleep in the night, you will still wake up because it is favorable to serve Krishna. That is accepting whatever is favorable for serving Krishna, rejecting whatever is unfavorable, like the incident that I just told you. Okay, you can reject the food. You can eat curd rice instead, right? Definitely in a wedding hall, you will have curd rice, sweets, and all that. No, eat something else which does not have onion garlic, right? That is called rejecting whatever is unfavorable for the service of Krishna. Then Goptatra Varanam Tata. So accepting Krishna as the maintainer of us. He is the maintainer, not our husband or wife or father or mother. No. Krishna is giving them the resources to maintain us. So Krishna is the supreme maintainer, right? Accepting Krishna as the maintainer. This is the third symptom. Then Atmanikshepa Karpanya, being meek and humble in front of the Lord, and giving ourselves, self-surrender, okay, giving ourselves to the Lord. So these are all symptoms of surrendering to the Lord. Okay, so you give yourself to the Lord, Atma Nivedanam, right? Like Bali Maharaj, he gave away everything to the Lord, right? To Vamanadev. And gopis, they gave everything to the Lord, right? Their body, mind, and soul, Manasa Vacha Karmana, they became devotees of the Lord. So that is Atma Nikshepa and Karpanya. Karpanya is you have to be meek and humble in front of the Lord. Do not, go through keep your materialistic position in front of the Lord and say, I am this, I have a standard. No, all that you need to keep aside. Yeah, listening listening to Bhagavatam will definitely help. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to practical application, you need to very consciously make the decision. You need to discriminate what is material, what is spiritual. Right? Anukulena sankalpa, anukulesa sankalpa, right? Is this favorable for me? Is this, then accept it. Is this favorable for my devotional service? No, it is not, then reject it. Okay? Practically, you need to discriminate. Yeah, Prabhuji, what you're saying is right. Keep listening to Srimad Bhagavatam. sins will slowly vanish and acharyas will gradually help us improve our bhakti towards Krishna. Yes, Hari Bol. Thank you. Any other doubts? Any other questions? No other questions? Then we can end. Okay, so next class we will be starting with Kunti Stuti. Very famous, right? Kunti prayers, Queen Kunti prayers. So it's beautiful. Kunti prayers, it's Kunti Stuti is from Bhagavatam. So we are learning Srimad Bhagavatam, I think Canto 1, if I'm not wrong. It should be Canto 1, right? So it's beautiful. Lot of people wait to read Kunti Stuti, right? There are small pocket books also available. Prabhupada has written Kunti Stuti. And yeah, we will be starting with that. And you'll get drowned in the nectar. You'll get drowned in the nectar. Yeah, Hare Krishna, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavindi ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, thank you all for joining.
Hare
Please
Krishna.
join the next class.